All right, today we're going to dive into a pretty profound and personal journey, all about navigating a massive, life-altering change. It's a story that I think a lot of us can connect with. That moment you realize things will never be the same again, the sheer exhaustion from fighting that new reality, and, well, the unexpected peace you can find when you finally decide to just let go. And it all kicks off with this one powerful sentence. It's that stark realization that a chapter in your life has slammed shut, for good. Now, this isn't about being negative or pessimistic, not at all. It's actually about being incredibly courageous, brave enough to face a new truth. Because, let's be honest, acknowledging reality, no matter how tough, is always the first step. So, this is where the journey really begins, with what the source material calls the start of a new life. This first part is all about that unmistakable feeling, that gut feeling that you've crossed some invisible line and that life as you knew it is over. And what's really important here is the certainty behind it. This isn't some vague hope or a guess. No, it's a deep, core knowledge that you are now living in a new life, a new chapter, where the old rules just don't apply anymore. And yeah, that can feel pretty scary, but it also holds this incredible hidden potential. But this new reality, it takes a toll. And that brings us to the second stage of this journey, what's described as tiredness from thoughts. This is all about that deep, profound mental exhaustion that kicks in when your brain is just working in overdrive, trying to process this huge shift.
And I think this is something almost all of us have felt at some point, right? Your mind just gets stuck in this endless loop, replaying events, analyzing every little detail, and just constantly, desperately trying to push away all that negativity. It's an internal war, and it can wear you down to nothing. This just lays it out so perfectly. On one side, you've got the fight, that relentless, non-stop effort to get away from a bad feeling. And on the other side, the result. You just burn out completely. This is that moment, that critical turning point when you finally realize that the fight itself is the problem. And that realization leads you to this huge, pivotal question. It sounds so simple, but it's actually radical. What if? What if you just stop fighting? And that question right there, it marks the massive shift from resisting life to trying a whole new strategy.
Answering that question brings us right here to our third stage, to flow with the current. Now, it's really important to get this. This is not about giving up, not at all. It's a conscious choice to stop trying to swim upstream against the river of life and instead to finally learn how to navigate its flow. And this describes a whole new way of being. It's what life feels like without all those massive emotional highs and lows. It's just moving forward with a sense of calm acceptance, knowing that you can't control the river, but you can learn how to steer your boat. And this is where things get really interesting, because in this state of surrender, of not fighting, you discover something totally unexpected. We're now in the fourth stage, finding wisdom in observation. The focus is no longer on struggling or doing, but on simply watching. Now pay close attention to the wording here. This isn't about anxiously waiting for the next bad thing to happen. Not at all. It's more like an active but detached curiosity. It's like you become a scientist of your own life, just observing what happens as it unfolds, without all the fear and attachment. So this idea of observing from the side gets totally flipped on its head. It's no longer this passive, do-nothing thing. It actually becomes this deep well of wisdom and genuine meaning. By stepping back from the fight, you finally get the perspective that was totally impossible to see when you were right in the middle of it. Okay, so this whole journey from acceptance to observation, it doesn't just stay a feeling. It actually hardens into a new, practical philosophy for how to live your life. And that's our final section, a new life principle. And it all boils down to this really powerful three-part approach. First, you bring excellence to the things you actually can control. Do everything with quality. Second, you stay present and engage fully in every small moment. And finally, for everything else, the big picture stuff that's way beyond your control, you just have to rely on faith. You let it go. You release it to a higher power, or to the universe, or to fate, what the source here calls God's will. And this last thought really hits home, doesn't it? It's not presented as just some nice opinion. It feels like a deep conviction, something that's been earned through struggle. It's the conclusion of a really tough journey. That true peace comes not from trying to change the world around you, but from changing your relationship to it. So, we'll leave you with this to think about. In those moments in your life, and they will come, when the world shifts under your feet, How do you make that leap from fighting to flowing? Where in the middle of all that chaos are you going to find your wisdom